Everybody, what's up? This your boy Buddha again with Man Mondays. I just wanted to talk to you quickly about something that I find is increasingly, man, I want to call it like a fad. I hope it's a fad. I hope it's a fad that comes and goes. But there's definitely a pattern that's going on of delusion, and I want to really articulate this and define it correctly so we can all understand exactly what this is and how to it's detrimental to your personal growth. Delusion, when people believe, to me there's two different measures. There's the measure of who you actually are, who and what you actually are, and who and what you believe you are, right? There's those two separate things. One thing is here. Let's say one thing is here and one thing is there. Excuse that. That's my daughter. Anyhow, so these two different measures. Now, there's a degree of separation. That degree of separation for who you are and who you think you are, in my opinion, shouldn't be any more than 20 degrees of separation, 20%. Okay, so let's say you being completely understanding of who you are, completely aware of who you are, where you are in life, and the person that you are. For example, if you got a bad temper, for you to say, no, actually I'm pretty patient, and everyone else in the world knows you got a bad temper, sir, you're delusional. Like you're wrong in this case, right? If you say, hey, I'm great at finances, but in actuality, nothing in your life reflects that you're great at finances because you overspend, you undersave, you don't invest in anything else other than things that you want to have kind of give you the perception of success, like buying a nice car or buying some cool clothes, but you living in your mama's basement. When you're talking about your finance, you're a great finance guy, you're delusional. However, there's a point where, for example, if someone says, hey, I'm in really good shape, I'm a fitness guru. Now you don't have to be Captain America, you don't have to be, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Back in the day, Arnold Schwarzenegger, you ain't got to be that guy. But you need to align. The reality needs to align, needs to reflect what you believe in your mind. So if you're saying, if you're projecting, hey, I'm a fitness guru, well then, if you can't get yourself in shape, you've seen it, the personal trainers who are fat and tubby and can't get themselves in shape, but know all about how to get you in shape. I'm sorry, I'm not investing in that. To me, that's like investing in a guy who says he knows all about finance, but he's broke, living under a bridge. Bruh, come on, man. That's movies, that's TV, that's not reality. So in any event, try to make an exaggerated effort to keep whoever you are, whoever you believe you are, make sure that there's a clear and distinct difference between who you are and who you are not. You define who you are not, the same way you define who you are. And who you are needs to be absolutely true. It needs to be truth. It needs to resonate truth on a truth frequency. You might hear this word frequency a lot if you're kind of tuning into me. Not so much that you would hear it from me, but if you're into those circles in that association, you're going to hear that a lot because it's true. It's true. We all vibrate on a certain frequency. Love vibrates on the highest frequency, and everything else, the frequency is well beneath that. Hate vibrates on the lowest frequency. So everything else is in between that. So I say all that to say, make sure that who you believe you are is actually who you are as much as possible. Because that's what happens with that is that I bring up frequency to say what happens with that is that the more honest you are with yourself, the more truthful you are with yourself, the more accountable you are with your actions and what you did, how you fucked up, how you made your accomplishments, where you could have done better, how you are falling short, how you are procrastinating or being lazy or whatever the case may be. When you vibrate on that frequency of truth, other truths find you, right? And other greater accomplishments will find you as well. You cannot go to the next level in life without being honest with yourself. You can't. Now, don't get me wrong. That doesn't mean that you can't have access to certain abilities, certain what someone would consider magic. It doesn't mean that you don't have access to those certain abilities. You could. However, if you're vibrating at a low frequency using high frequency powers, you're completely distorted. Your spirit is completely distorted. And eventually all those things come back as what you would consider black magic. And they will come back at you. They will come back at your family. They will come back at your generations to follow you. And they will come back at you in the next lifetime. So make sure that where you're operating at is as true as possible. If the reason why people are delusional is because their fears and their lack of accomplishments. So they want to say, for example, I'm a great woman. A woman may want to believe she's a great woman, but nothing indicates that. She doesn't try to be better on her job. She doesn't try to be better with her friends. She doesn't try to be better with herself, within herself. She does not try to make any of those actual accomplishments to be that person. She just lies and says she is that person. Or this guy may say he's the best man. He's the best man. I'm the best man you'll ever have, except she's leaving him. And she's leaving him why? Because he doesn't pay any bills. He doesn't keep any job. He doesn't cook anything. He doesn't clean. He has no value. He has absolutely no value. He's delusional. Because who he believes he is 100%. Who he actually is somewhere down 10% of who he actually believes he is. That's a 90% degree of separation. You're delusional, sir. So whoever you believe you are, you should be within 80% accuracy of that. That way, you're just a little off. You're a work in progress. That's okay. It's okay to be a work in progress. But when you're to the point where you're 50% off, 60% off, 70% off, you're delusional. You're delusional. And it's much easier to live in your delusions than to fight in reality. Because in reality, you have to fight. Every step, every inch, every mile in life, you have to fight in order to get better, in order to do better, in order to get further along in life. It's much easier just to pretend, which is why you have so many people who are delusional. They live in that delusion. They start those delusions early and they live in them until they're 40, 50, 60 years old and they die in those delusions. And people just learn to accept them. This is who he is. He's just funny. People take you as a joke. They don't take you seriously. Live in your truth. Live in your truth. As long as you live in your truth, you're expected to make mistakes. You will make mistakes. Stop acting like you need to be fucking flawless. I don't understand this. You're supposed to lose. You're supposed to have points in life where you lose, so that way you learn how to win. You're supposed to fail. You're supposed to fail many times in life, so that way you learn how to succeed. That's part of it. Don't be like, oh, it's no one's fault. This whole, there's no points in basketball, no winning in the races, no. Shut up. Come on, man. Stop being delusional. Feed yourself the truth. Feed yourself strength. Always feed yourself strength. Be better. Stay blessed. In fact, live in your blessing. You are blessed. Just live in the blessing. But you got to be true. You got to be honest in order to succeed to the next level, in order to go to the next level and be better and better. Some of you are wondering why you can't get to the next level, why things are not working out for you. 9 times out of 10, it's because you're not being honest with yourself. And most of that also has to do with hard work. You're not working hard enough. You're saying that you are. You're saying you got to get yourself. You got to get your 8 hours, your 10 hours, your sleep, your 12 hours. No, you don't. Try again. Try living on 4 for 2 weeks. Try living on 4 every day for 2 weeks. Try living on 6 every day for 2 weeks. Figure out what your sleep pattern needs to be. Stop deluding yourself. Stop feeding into the bullshit, into the hype, because you got a whole bunch of lies around. There's this quote that I heard. I forget who it's from, but it says, "The truth is so precious, it must be protected by layers and layers of lies." You can lie to everybody else. Don't lie to yourself. And while you're lying to everybody else, just know there are some people who are paying attention. Make sure you work for whatever it is you say that you are. Anyhow, this is Buddha.